Well, today we are going to be talking about lead nurturing, and you might be wondering what lead nurturing is. We'll talk a little bit about what it is and why it's important, especially in your marketing strategy for 2022 and beyond. In particular, if you're doing inbound marketing now, as a business in this day and age, you should definitely be doing inbound marketing. And inbound marketing is where you're using content to draw people into your world. And that could be blog posts, it could be social media posts, it could be a lead magnet, it could be things like this Facebook Live video, it could be a YouTube video where this will end up, it could be email marketing to other people's through joint venture databases, offering something for free. It could be through online events. There's just so many different ways that you can do inbound marketing, and we'll do that maybe one day as another topic. But if you're doing inbound marketing, you should definitely do lead nurturing. Now, lead nurturing is not a new thing. A lot of marketers will want to make you think it's something new, but it's definitely not something new. It's something that's been around for a very long time. And if you've ever been involved in sales, then you would recognize the terminology of call cycling. And what call cycling was a period of time that you would leave a prospect before you would ring them again to check in and see, how they were going, or you might even drop in. I mean, back in the days when I had my transport company and the internet wasn't very prevalent and email marketing certainly wasn't, we used to have like a drop-in cycle where we would make sure that when we had a prospect, we would drop in every sort of 6 to 8 weeks and just say g'day, just see how they were going and whether or not they had any challenges. We also had a call cycling process where we would call people on a certain period of time, or when we maybe had some availability for them to be able to utilize their services. So it's not a new thing, but in the world of digital marketing, it definitely is something that can be systemized and very leveraged, because those examples I've just given you in the days of old, certainly aging myself there, are things that are a lot more less leveraged, more time consuming, and more your time would have had to be put into making those things happen. As where these things that we're going to talk about today can be very leveraged. You can automate a lot of it, and it can make it very easy for you to build a relationship with your prospective customer. So let's talk about 7 different things to think about when it comes to lead nurturing. First of all, is that multiple touches will lead to a better relationship. Now, what I mean by that is, the more the more you can be in contact with your prospective customer, the better relationship that you're going to build. One of the challenges with digital marketing is, in some respects, it makes people a little bit less um, less likely to have a personal contact. Okay, so that human contact is less likely with digital marketing because of the very nature of how it works. So, you need to make sure that you're using your digital marketing in a way to have multiple ways of multiple touches through your lead nurturing to be able to keep in contact with your prospective customer or your current customer, or even a past customer. And so some of that you can bring a human to human element in that as well. So things like this video where you could be looking at a camera, it feels like we're connected, through a medium like this. It's where maybe your social media might be a little less personal, but of course you can humanize that. And even things like email can be really quite personally written. I was just we just sent out an email this morning from our database, in fact, part of our lead nurturing, if you like. And I actually got a personal response straight away back from somebody on the database, as if I'd personally written the email to them. So if you can write the email in a personal way, it can work really well. So multiple touches will equal a better relationship, and using those different touches in a way that is as human as possible when it comes to your marketing. And it can be difficult to do, like if you're using retargeting, remarketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, for example, it can be a little bit more difficult, but you just got to think about how you're going to do that. Now, that brings me to my second point. When I talk about all these different avenues, is to use all of the platforms that you have at your disposal to nurture your leads. Don't just use, for example, Facebook ads as an advertising platform to try and get inbound leads. Also use it to nurture leads. And one of the classic ways is through using, promoting some of your helpful content. You see that happening a lot. A lot of people doing that through their advertising campaigns, using their ad campaigns to promote maybe testimonials or case studies or client results, etc. Maybe things that are quite prevalent and happening that might be on top of mind for your prospective customer or your target market right now. You can use each of these platforms to nurture your leads. And why it's important is because a lot of people, that come through your inbound marketing won't be ready to buy from you just yet. And so these multiple touches and reaching them through all the different platforms means that you're going to get them at different points. And what you want is you want your prospective customer to see you everywhere. Yeah, because the more that they see you, there's been a lot of studies done on this. I don't know the exact number. Some say it's 6 times, some say it's 10 times. But the reality is the more times somebody sees you in more places, the more they consider you to be the authority. And they're like, man, you're just everywhere. And there's two different facets as to why that's happening. Some of it is your marketing plan or your activity or strategy. Some of it is just their focus. If they're focused on trying to solve a problem and they see you everywhere and you're that problem solver, then there's a good chance that they're going to relate with you with that, fixing that problem. The third thing I'll say about, so use all your different platforms. At some point in time, you need to use that human to human contact, that H to H that I was talking about. And the best way to do that is to use the telephone. And I think that is the next problem that we're faced with in this day and age, is that digital marketing has made people accept their reluctance to pick up the phone a lot easier, because you can almost justify it by saying, well, I'm doing all this other marketing, I don't need to ring people, or I feel like that's going to be pestering them. You still can't beat a phone call. And so, with all of our inbound lead campaigns, or pretty much all of them, I can't say it's a blanket for all of them, but definitely for 90% of our inbound marketing strategies, we ask for a phone number. And that does reduce the amount of people that opt into our offer, but it increases our ability to be able to service those people in a meaningful way. Because if all I have is your name and email address, the only thing I can do is give you more email content and hope that you tune in somewhere else. And so if I have your phone number, I can at least give you a phone call and check in on you and ask you some questions and see if I can help in some other way. And, rather than seeing that as a lot of people see that as a difficult thing to do because they're worried that they're going to be pestering people. I'm not saying call them 3 times a day. I'm saying make a simple phone call. So, for example, if you download my business plan template off of our Facebook ads, or off of our website, we'll call you and say, hey, you recently downloaded the business plan template. What were you hoping that would help you with? Is there something that we can help you with? Are you starting a business, growing your business? Are you frustrated with where your business is at? So it just starts a conversation. And it doesn't mean it's going to go anywhere. A lot of them don't go anywhere. 80% of them, in fact, they go, no, I'm fine. I just wanted a template. But some of them do go somewhere. And so by having that conversation, we're able to then progress people to become a customer much quicker. Those other 80% that don't go anywhere at that point of contact, though, do go back into a nurturing sequence. And the great thing about that is that you're continuing to build the relationship. The fourth thing that I'll say when I talk about emailing people is try and email based on behavior. So you can customize or personalize a lot of things. So if somebody has downloaded something from your website, you can shoot them a personalized email based on what it was they downloaded. And that way, it feels very relatable to them. You can do all sorts of segmentation, and there's a lot of arguments for and against the time it takes versus the benefits. But, if you can, as people enter your database, it's a good idea to try and tag them with different things. Most CRMs these days will allow you to tag people with a tag or a category that allows you then, when you're sending an email, to really group people based on what they're interested in or how they got into your database, or, whether they've been to an event before, etc. And it can really help you. And at the very minimum, you should be categorizing people by the fact of whether or not they're opening your emails and whether they're engaged with your content. There's been a lot of studies done on that as well now, is to make sure that you're not emailing people that aren't engaged with your content, and that you clean your database every sort of 60 to 90 days to make sure you haven't got sort of people in there that aren't interested in what you're doing. So email based on behavior. That leads me then to my fifth tip, which is then to use some sort of lead scoring. So once again, a lot of CRMs have the capabilities for you to be able to score your leads based on an activity. But once again, you don't need a scoring system. You can use your own scoring system, and it could be something like they've downloaded more than one thing from my website, or maybe they've joined a Facebook group, or maybe they're opening emails, or they're coming to all of my events. So you can sort of decide how you score them, but it's very important that you use some methodology so you can identify those people that you've been nurturing, that are more likely to buy. And the way to do that, of course, is if somebody is consuming your content, maybe they're visiting your website and downloading something, maybe they're coming along to all your online events, or you frequently see them visiting your watching your Facebook live videos or something like that. Then they're probably more likely to be a customer, and they're going to be a lot warmer, right? So a good opportunity for you to have a chat with them. That leads me to tip number 6, is that part of your nurturing strategy should include events. And whether they're online or offline depends on your business and your business model. But online events have become very well accepted, of course, over the last couple of years with everything that happened in the world. So using online events is a very powerful way for you to be able to nurture your leads, build a relationship, and for people to get to know you. Quite commonly, I'll meet with somebody for a discovery call, or a business assessment or of some sort, like like a meeting where we go through in details, chatting about what their needs are. And what we'll find is that people will say to me, "I feel like I already know you." So whether it's this digital business or it's my business coaching business, it's very powerful the way that we do it. And then the 7th tip that I've got for you is, utilize groups. People love being brought together. And so, one of the things that, and you may be watching this in our Facebook group, we've got a couple of different Facebook groups, but groups are a very powerful way to bring people together, and also for you to be able to nurture people. And if you are the person who's sort of brought the group together, that also helps with your relationship building and the authority that you bring, or the light that they see you in as an authority figure, or a specialist in your industry. So sometimes, having Facebook groups is a great way for you to be able to not only bring people together, but nurture people in a way that where email may be ineffective. Because the unfortunate thing with email is that these internet service providers keep putting different barriers up to getting our emails through. And if we're writing emails that are maybe a little bit salesy or got links to things, etc., sometimes they can go into junk or spam folders. And you'll see this. You probably know this is happening. It happens to people that want to get your email. You might send one email with an attachment with a proposal, and your customer might say, "I never got it." And you say, "Did you check your junk folder?" And they'll go, "Yes, it's in there." Very frustrating. As where something like a Facebook group, if somebody is engaged in a group, then Facebook will make sure that they see the post. So they may be more likely to see your nurturing content if you've got them in a group. And of course, a group can be great for your prospects, but also can be good for current or past clients as well, to keep nurturing those, to get them to buy from you again, and give you referrals, and to remember that you exist. So that's my sort of 7 tips on lead nurturing. So if you're not doing that in your business right now, really important for you to think about how can you implement a lead nurturing strategy into your marketing overall plan, because there's no doubt that you will have people sitting in your database that aren't ready right now, but will be ready in a month, 2 months, maybe a year, maybe 3 years, maybe 5 years from now. But if you're not continually nurturing them, then they're going to forget that you exist, and there's a likelihood that they're not going to buy from you. And of course, like I said, my point 3 was to follow up with a call. Once you've got their phone number, feel free to give them a call every now and then, based on their activity. So if they're active and they're opening emails and they're attending your events, then at some point you should give them a call and have a discussion with them to see if there is something you can do to help and to serve that person, because really that's what it's all about. All right. So hopefully you found that helpful. Now, if you do want help with your digital marketing, if you want help understanding how to put together your lead nurturing, or choosing a CRM or something like that, maybe you're just wondering whether or not your business could benefit by a better digital marketing strategy, what I'd love to do is invite you to have a discovery call with me. Now, I can't help everybody. It's one of the things that I've learned over the years is I'd like to say that, what I do is for everybody, but it's not. And so the way that I like to work out whether or not I can help you is to do this discovery call. And we'll do 3 things pretty quickly. It's a 15-minute call. There's no obligation. The first thing, I'm just going to learn a bit about your business. Second thing is I'm going to sort of lift the hood, have a quick look, and just say, usually I can find 1 or 2, low-hanging fruits that with a quick tweak will give you some results. And the third thing I'll do is I'll either let you know whether or not I think I can help you. If I can, I will then book you in for a more in-depth digital roadmap session, which is a more in-depth look at your business and your target market and what the marketing might be able to do for your business, and see if we can help you. If I don't think I can help you, then I'll politely let you know and I'll point you in the right direction of what I think might be the best next step for you. So we'll put a link down in the description of how to book in a discovery call. It's a 15-minute call, absolutely no obligation. We'll have a chat and see if I can help. And let's see if we can get you generating lots of leads online, lots of sales, and nurturing your leads in a way that is going to lead to great success for you and your business. All right, I've been Ben Futrell. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one.